Okay, again, welcome everyone. Just before we start, a few words about myself. I am, as I said, the founder of the MedTech Marketing. We are a marketing agency, boutique marketing agency. We work with medical technologies, all the range of medical technologies, including digital health companies, medical device, biotech, venture capital, large corporation, early stage startups, NASDAQ traded companies. And our team, our goal is to help you, the companies, to advance your marketing efforts. We have experts together with me. We have a truly admirable expert team with top tier experts in design, digital marketing, content marketing, and video production. And together we work to help you grow. Apart from our commercial activities with companies which are focused on branding, on digital marketing, on trade show marketing, which I will show a bit later and explain a bit later. We also engage in a lot of educational activity within the community, webinars, meetings, meetups, panel discussions, in order to help companies to understand the commercialization, marketing aspects, which are truly important and crucial. And now to the topic of our discussion: how to market in 2026. So as you know, 2025 was a tough year. I think everyone in Israel knows it, but also globally. There was a decline in venture funding activity, the shift from growth to consolidation. There was a gap in AI realization versus expectations, and market conditions and policy was quite unstable, and it of course impacted the companies working in this space. So I think many of the companies felt the pressure, felt the challenge of this year, and yet what we see from our work with medical technologies that we work with, that with the right focus, it is possible to achieve growth. So I want to show you just a very short snippet of what we achieved with the companies that we are working with in 2025. And then we will discuss during the workshop how we can achieve these results, and what are the guiding practices for growth. So take a look at this short video. Oh, sorry. So as the video says, we invite you, every one of the attendees here, to make 2026 the year of marketing innovation. So before we go in and discuss how to achieve it, just a few words about innovation as a growth catalyst. I think that everyone here agrees that innovation is a crucial step. And if you ask executives, and actually McKinsey did such a survey, they all agree. 84% of the executives agree that you need to implement innovation in the organization. But the question is how and what type of innovation you need to implement. And actually, the same survey shows that only 6% of these executives that think that you need to implement innovation are satisfied with the types of innovation that they have introduced. And this relies very much to the complexity of our world. If we look at the trends, we need to understand the trends, because there are so many innovations, different AI tools coming out each and every day. And you need to see where you focus the efforts, what is changing, and which things that are changing, which trends really impact our business, and which are generally interesting trends, but they don't have any direct impact on us. So I have digested here 3 key trends that I think are very, very important for everyone in the world of health tech from the commercialization point of view. So first of all, we need to understand that the traditional funnel, traditionally everyone engaged in the world of marketing, of sales, there is a traditional funnel that first of all, there is top of the funnel, just the awareness stage, and then you have the middle of the funnel as the customer advances in the purchasing decision, and then there is bottom of the funnel, kind of the conversion stage. So this is old school. Maybe it was relevant, a few years ago, but now with our dynamic world where we consume so much information from so many directions, the journey is not like that. Growth is at the core, but then all the stages, they kind of work in parallel. So you need to think in parallel, how to engage, how to delight, and how to attract the customers. The second trend, which is kind of related to it, that the processes are becoming more simple, more agile, and faster. You can't now spend, and I will give you examples of traditional processes in marketing. You can't spend now 2-3 months on branding, half a year on creating a website. Your business doesn't have the time to do it. And we need also to be more agile, more simple, more fast, and kind of do more things in parallel. And additional trend, which is important, is the data-driven personalization. That today, data solutions allow us to bridge gaps that were not possible to bridge before. And we need to leverage the wealth of data and implement it in our marketing activity. And I will show a couple of examples very shortly. So what does it mean for us, all these trends? Actually, how can we achieve growth? And what I see from our work and from other experts that I'm in touch with is that actually the key is in the focus. There are 20% of the activities that if we focus on them, they will create 80% of the impact. And I think many of you know this, but the idea, the core is the smart thing is to find the right activities to focus, the right 20% that will give you 80% of the impact. And really, in the world of marketing, the sky is the limit with the things that you can do. But in order to be very focused and to achieve impact, we suggest to focus on these four core pillars. So first is smart branding. To create a memorable, impactful brand and to shorten this process. If you have already a great brand, that's fine, but I know that many of the companies struggle in this domain, so we'll discuss it shortly. Then digital platform. Today, a digital platform is much more than the website, and actually your website can achieve much more than just to be a landing page for your brand, and we'll discuss what you can achieve with that. Lead generation. When you do lead generation campaigns, or if you don't do, then it's recommended to do, is to see how you close the loop and don't just, do lead generation for the sake of lead generation. And the last one, trade show marketing. A lot of medical technologies are going to trade shows. How you can actually optimize your trade show activity and make your presence truly count. So now in the 45 minutes left, we'll go and we'll discuss this topic. We'll go pillar by pillar, and I will give you my tips how to succeed in each of these pillars, and you will see also examples, case studies of medical technologies that we work with, what was their challenge, and how we overcame it. If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat, and I will address them. I will, after each pillar, I will have a stop to review if there are any questions. So let's first of all start with branding. I think many of you who have done the branding process, and I think almost every company that created, that has activity has done some of the branding process. I think many are familiar with the traditional branding. I took it from the web, just from a random US agency that I have seen, but it's a traditional process that is very common. That first you do some kind of research, you gather insights, sometimes it's a focus group, or you go and conduct a market research, a survey, several interviews, and then you come up with ideas. There is an ideation step, discussions, implementation, and this whole process can take 3 to 4 months. And I have done this process, while working with big corporate companies, but startups, they don't have the luxury to go through this lengthy process. And what we have come up with is a smart branding process. Why is it smart? Because we actually replace many of the research and the focus groups and the research that is done this way with digital research. Actually, digital tools can provide us with a lot of information that is gathered with this research. And in a moment, I will show you the tools that we use in the process, and you can use as well. And it actually allows us to shorten timelines to the amount of time that within 3-4 weeks, a startup can come up with a brand direction. And this is really a game changer for many companies who want to prepare quickly for an investment round, for a major event, anything that you need, you can actually shorten the process. So which digital tools I recommend to use? First of all, SEMrush. SEMrush is Google Search Analytics. It provides you with understanding how people search for your brand, how people search for competitor brands, what are the common keywords that they use with your brand, and then you can better understand what exactly within your product is of interest to people. Secondly, it's very important to understand and analyze trends and industry data. Google Trends and industry websites are a must in a review. Gain some competitor insights with SimilarWeb, with Alexa, and of course, competitive intelligence by just going on LinkedIn and exploring how our competitors or other industry players communicate their strategy, their news, etc. So working with these tools, you can get a good understanding what is the interest around your brand, how the industry positions themselves, and what do your competitors say. And leveraging this knowledge, you can actually go and translate it into a branding process. So why smart branding, I think, is the right solution for startups and scale-ups. It's fast, it's cost-effective. You are sure to get industry alignment. And you come up with a cohesive story, and you focus on the essence. It's really lean, but you focus on the essence, and you get an innovative brand. So I want to show you two examples, two case studies of medical companies that went through this process. The first one is 𝐈𝐴𝐺𝐿𝐴. 𝐈𝐴𝐺𝐿𝐴, in a clinical stage medical device company. They have a very smart technology backed by clinical evidence, and they were preparing for early commercialization and wanted to create a facelift, to attract investors and strategic partners. And you can see on the left their brand, which was initially looking very basic, and it didn't fit the technological innovation behind the company and the story that we wanted to tell. And actually, 𝐈𝐴𝐺𝐿𝐴, it's an implant that goes into the neck and replaces traditional screws. So the way that we chose to solve it, first of all, as you may see, we changed the logo. So the logo here is a solution. We wanted to focus on the smart technology, the way that it fixes things quickly, efficiently, focused. So that's why we created this element that is actually the same shape as the implant. It stands out. It clearly communicates what the product is. The look and feel is innovative. It's the look and feel of a smart technology. And this is the perception that is communicated to investors and partners. A different case study from the world of biotech, ReviumRx, an early stage biotech company. They created a very smart drug delivery technology with a unique mechanism of action. They were prepared to be listed on NASDAQ, and they wanted to have a facelift to attract investors. Now, when we started to work with ReviumRx, they already had a nice logo, but the issue with that was that the logo, the look and feel, it was generic. It didn't communicate the unique technology, the unique story behind the company. It was created when the company was at an early stage, and now as they advanced, they were going to a more sophisticated stage, to a stage on NASDAQ where investors need to look at the company, grasp the story, understand the uniqueness of the technology. This initial branding wasn't enough, and they wanted to step up with the branding. So our solution here was to find a way to tell the story and to explain the company to investors in a nutshell. As you may see, we created a different logo which communicates, first of all, the colors. You may see that the colors are more red, meaning that this company, it's a drug delivery. Drug delivery, it's done in the blood. So immediately you have the red color connected with the essence of the technology. Secondly, you may see there is a movement. And now I want to show you the video, how we actually, we felt that there is a need to explain the story to investors, to make it clear. And you will see how we chose to explain this story.
Antimicrobial resistance is a global crisis, often called the silent pandemic. Each year, it claims 1.45 million lives, and by 2050, the number could reach 40 million. Beyond the human toll, antimicrobial resistance places a heavy economic burden on healthcare systems worldwide, costing billions of dollars each year. Revium Rx is addressing antimicrobial resistance and other hard-to-treat diseases by reimagining how medicine is delivered. Our approach combines proven pharmacology with innovative drug delivery systems, broadening treatment options where traditional therapies fall short. A significant challenge with traditional therapies is that many drugs break down too quickly in the body, losing potency before they can reach the infected or diseased tissue. Our proprietary technology uses advanced lipid-based delivery systems. By harnessing tiny, specially engineered liposomes, the drug circulates longer in the bloodstream. Thanks to the enhanced permeability and retention effect, or EPR, it concentrates in diseased tissues like tumors or infections, while sparing healthy cells. This means targeted delivery, controlled release, extended circulation, greater efficacy, and fewer side effects. This precision and extended bioavailability offers new hope for combating resistant bacteria and improving outcomes for patients worldwide. Revium Rx, drug delivery reimagined.
So as you may see, we created an essence, a story around the technology. We created a 3D model of the liposome, which you can also see on the company's website, and the unique drug essence within this liposome, explaining with simplicity to the target audience, which in this case is investors, what is the essence and what are the benefits of the technology. And you can see that when you create brand elements, it should go across the board. So here we created also visualization, how this brand will look actually on the product, which is the injection in the office, and etc. So before I move to our next chapter, I have seen that there are some questions. Let me just check. So I will send the recording to everyone, and after that I saw that there was a question about the email, so I will send the recording to everyone. I have your emails of everyone registered, so don't worry about that. Just a moment. Okay. So now that we have achieved the branding, we have created a story around the company. It's not enough just to have this story and to envision the branding. We need to tell it through a digital platform, and we not only need to tell the story, this digital platform also is our tool to generate leads, to work with distributors, and actually to provide the user experience to everyone who engages with our company. So today the website should be much more than just your landing page. The website has actually 4 functions. It can be the face of your brand, which is kind of the basics, and you need to have a smart process and a strong brand. It's the main source of lead generation, and lead generation is not only commercial. It can be investor leads, it can be interested partners, it can be different suppliers you are working with. Once your website is clear, it will be your source, your great source of organic leads, which is super important. Those of you who work with global companies who distribute, sell all over the world, your website is your tool to work globally, to work with distributors and to help them market globally. And I will show you in a moment an example of that. And user experience, again, it's not just a landing page. You can provide a far more advanced interactive experience on your website. And it's also relevant in medical. I will show again in a moment tools that you can implement that can improve your user experience. So here I put a few tools that we use, like Squarespace for website creation, �WIGLOT multi-language solution, and HubSpot and Zoho CRM tools. So first of all, first things first, let's start with the website construction process. Same as with branding, today we can't spend 6 months on creating a website. A startup can't afford it. And I speak with a lot of startups almost every day. So if in the traditional process, we have research and planning, and then design, and then development, and then testing, and then launch, and then maintenance, actually we looked how to simplify this process to accommodate the demand to create an impressive website very quickly. And in our process, working with the Squarespace solution, actually it allows us to simplify and to make it much quicker. So research and planning, you can't skip it. You have to do it anyhow. But in the design stage, if you work with a website, with a solution that is intended for web designers, then you eliminate the development and testing stages, and it really shortens your timelines when you can come within 2-3 months, sometimes within 1 month, with a very impressive website. And I will show you some examples what can be achieved. So again, 𝐷𝐞𝐿, we have met this company. What did we do with their website? A simple website oriented for early commercialization to spark interest among partners, among investors. So the key essence of this was to create a lean and impressive website that communicates innovation, communicates technology. This project took 2 months, including the rebranding that I have shown you earlier, and this project can be suitable for early stage startups. So you can see we created a 3D video animation as a website main banner, so you can clearly understand what is the technology. Then the whole website speaks the language of data, very sleek, very innovative, very medical, explains the benefits, the clinical results that the company has achieved. What is the difference, the advantages of the company versus traditional solutions? A lean website, 2-3 pages, achieved within 2 months, and it's a good solution for many startups, and I recommend exploring it. A different case study, a far more complex company, Sinai Immunotherapeutics, a biotech company, NASDAQ traded. The company had 2 business units. They are innovative R&D business unit developing biotech drugs, and CDMO bioservices working with other CDMO companies. And the goal here is dual. On one side, investor relations, spark interest among NASDAQ investors, and on the other side, B2B lead generation for the CDMO business unit. So here we, it's a complex website with 10 pages. So we worked here with an agile approach where we advance step by step, and each section took around 3 weeks. So eventually we created a website that works dually. It works both for investors and R&D, and it works for the CDMO business unit. It has a clear separation for different target audiences. And further than having just different different audiences, the website also integrates different solutions, such as NASDAQ, showing the share price on NASDAQ, marketing automation that allows to generate leads and then nurture them. Everything is synced with CRM, so so it's the website is not just the landing page. It's an engine that actually generates user experience. And now, even to a more sophisticated website of a global company, Geneo is a brand, a product by Apollogen, by Luminis. It's marketed in over 40 countries. It's a device with 5 technology, 9 treatments, natural ingredients, clinical studies, before and after results. And all of that, the company wanted to translate it into a website. And there was a need for a website that will translate all the power, all the versatility of this device, but will also communicate and allow distributors to market it globally to their audiences. So what we did here, first of all, was very sophisticated user experience, presenting technology, presenting natural ingredients. You see there are different sections. Each section has a unique look and feel. The structure is quite complex. But as I said, more than a website, it's also a platform for distributors to market it globally. If you come to a distributor and you say, I have just a website in English, or I have just materials in English, usually they will complain and they will ask for materials in their own language. And you can't now go manually and translate the website, or the distributor will translate, and then who will update the text. So here we used a multilingual solution, 𝐷𝐞𝐚𝐥𝐿, which using AI translates the website automatically. As you may see, the website is within a minute translated in French or in Polish or in Dutch, in any language, actually. And you can edit it. If some translation is incorrect, the distributor has access. They can edit it without accessing the main website. And there are actually also smart forms created. Why is it smart? Because actually the leads, once you work with distributors, you want to route the leads directly to distributors, and now not to go through several stages. So implementing smart forms like we used here helps to do it and to streamline the process. And last thing, as I said, the website can provide you with an interactive experience. And actually in Geneo, and later we implemented it in additional website as well, we added a bot. Here we use the Zoho solution called Zobot. We put a bot on the website with programmed questions about service, different inquiries, distribution, prices, shipment, all kind of inquiries that we have seen that customers say. We have created a script for this bot. And actually we have seen that after implementing the bot and also putting the same bot on social media, we have seen a spike of 300% in leads generated. So people today prefer to communicate in a way with a bot rather than filling the details in the form. And such a simple solution can help you to increase the leads generated through a website. And here I just wanted to show you that this solution was highly appreciated by distributors. Here is a Dutch distributor who asked to translate into their language, and within a few days they had a solution. Okay, so moving on from the website to our next stage, which is digital marketing and social media campaigns. So you built the right infrastructure and you have the brand, and now you want to be active and to actually market your company or attract investors or generate leads. So how do you do it? How do you do an effective digital marketing activity? For digital marketing, I recommend focusing on 4 main activities. One is thought leadership. Without thought leadership, any lead generation, promotion activities won't work, because many times you need to first of all build trust and build the perception of your company, and many times the market even doesn't understand that there is a need for such a solution. So first of all, you need to create this basis of content that will present your company in a correct way, will engage with your audience, and will constantly attract new followers to your social media channels. Secondly, smart data. As I said, today we have very advanced data solutions that allow us to change the way that we run campaigns and significantly improve efficacy. Multi-channel outreach. Once you want to do a lead generation campaign, you need to be multi-channel. Today, if you just do email or just do LinkedIn, you miss people who are not active here or not active here, and you need to think broad. And again, paid promotion. You can create wonderful content, but in the end, the people who will see this content are the current page followers. And if you want to broaden it and reach new and relevant target audiences, paid promotion is the right way to do it. I see questions. I will address them in the end of the chapter. So just an example, what types of thought leadership work on social media. So first of all, education. Educate the market about the condition that you are targeting, the challenge that you are targeting, but not just put something, generic. create infographics. LinkedIn carousel formats are very, very attractive. We see very good engagement with that. And this format always work. Secondly, all kind of events, webinars are a wonderful way to present your content, to engage with people, to really provide value. And those who provide value, they are becoming thought leaders in their domain. You can see here 2 examples of different webinars, thought leadership activities, and we constantly see that it works. And the third very effective method is ebook or case studies. You can see also here 2 examples from 2 different companies. I'm sure many companies have a lot of internal expertise, either in your team or in your advisory board. And if you go and organize it, you can provide a lot of value. If you package it as an ebook or as a case study, and then offer it to prospects, it can create a wealth of content, create leads for you, and create value for your prospects. Here is just an example, so it won't, stay in theory. Sinai Immunotherapeutics, as I said, a biotech NASDAQ traded company. We wanted to create a webinar for investors explaining their technology. So we organized the webinar with 2 members of the company advisory board, 2 distinguished physicians, and with the company's management, the CEO and the CTO. And we did a promotion around the webinar. We issued a press release when the webinar went out. And on NASDAQ, the share responds immediately. So once you are doing something right, you can see it very quickly. And in this day, on the same day, we have seen the share going up 31%. Then it went back to the regular price. But we saw the immediate response, how a proactive activity generated market value for the company. So that was on thought leadership, highly recommended. Another activity is lead generation. And I recommend doing a multi-channel lead generation activity. It's lead generation is actually a process where, first of all, you do prospecting of the leads, then you plan multi-channel outreach, and then you do follow-ups and engagement. And of course, it's very important to have a structured process to follow up with leads. And I will show you now an example how these processes can be built with data tools available today, the data tools that we use in our campaigns, and we see that they work efficiently for companies. So the first stage, prospecting. We work with a tool called the Apollo. Apollo is a database, a huge database that has data from all kinds of sources, LinkedIn, Google, different websites. And actually it allows you to get quite a good fit on a target audience if you define it correctly with the keywords, with the right industry, with the right criteria. You can get a very good prospecting list with Apollo. Our experience showed that we are able to achieve quite a good targeting, even in complex domain like biotech. So we created the list. We decided whom we want to target, what are the right keywords, what is the right position, audience, etc. And now we want to create a sequence, because it's not enough just to send this person one message. So we create a sequence of 2-3 messages that present the company and help them kind of advance through the funnel from general awareness to the company and understanding the product to a more conversion oriented state of mind. And then we implement this sequence on LinkedIn and on email. So here is an example, for example, of an email campaign. We can see, how many people got the email, how many people opened it, how many were responded, and out of the responded, how many were interested. And a similar example on LinkedIn, again, you send a message every few days, you target the audience, and working with both channels, you can create really impressive results. As I said, it's not enough to create results. You need to be able to track them, to analyze them. Here is an example of a dashboard that we built for a company. So before moving to our last part, let me see the questions that we have received here. Okay. Okay, so I have two questions. The first question is about why do we apollo over Zoom Info or Lusha? So Apollo is more convenient to work with than Zoom Info. The flow is easier to build, the data is easier to analyze. This was our experience with Lusha. I personally didn't try it, so I can tell, but versus Zoom Info, Apollo was better. Webinar platform, I think Zoom is the best. It's standard. It works. The simpler the better. I don't think that we need to try to create something complicated. Whatever if you work with a different platform, it's also fine. The essence, the main thing is the content. Okay, the list, if the list is LinkedIn accounts, no, the list is not LinkedIn accounts. The list is accounts that we generated in Apollo according to our search or targeting criteria. And it can be on LinkedIn, used on LinkedIn, and it can be used on email, wherever the person has the profile. What's your recommendation using AI platforms to create content, especially blogs, in order to generate volume? Okay, so about thought leadership and about AI, I will answer both in the same question. So first of all, about AI, you can use AI to create blogs, but you can't do it fully, automated on AI, because I think you can notice that it's not human. After all, it's easy to notice what was generated with AI and when there is a human touch in it. And especially in medicine, you need to be very careful what AI writes. So what I suggest that you can use a brief that is created by a professional. You can create it then in AI, but someone needs to check it and to see, if it's correct. So it should be a combination of AI and human work. You can't fully rely on AI, especially not in medicine. And about thought leadership, it definitely should be a long-term strategy, but you can also do it in a short term. There is you need to start in the short term, and then in the long term, you will see results. But also in the short term, you will see very quickly that it delivers. And I want to show it now in the next example around event marketing. You will see that actually thought leadership can help to create a build-up for your event. So again, for events, I don't think there is a medical company that doesn't go to some kind of event. Either it's a professional congress or a big trade show or investor-oriented convention like JPM. Everyone goes to a trade show or to event at some point. And I wanted to quickly give you a few tips how to succeed in these events. And from our activity, I see 4 pillars for success. It's never a one pillar. So what are the 4 pillars that we see? First of all, organic media social campaign, creating content, creating thought leadership. Why is it important? Because you want to create a buzz around your company. You go to an event, you meet people, they go to your company page immediately. They first of all go and check your company on LinkedIn. They check your website, they check the company on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that you are active, you have quality content, and actually good content can create a build-up for an event. It's super important. I will show in a minute. Then again, data screening, the outreach campaign. You want to come to an event with pre-scheduled meetings. You don't want to come to an event and now start looking for for meetings, because you might come back with nothing. And impactful booth, if you have a booth. Not everyone has a booth. So just to close the loop on a booth, I know that not all companies can afford a big booth, but you don't need to worry. Even if you have budget for a small booth, a relatively small booth, it can be impactful. And here is an example of a booth that we created for a client, that if the booth captures the essence of the company and clearly communicates the story, the size doesn't matter. And without further ado, moving to the main essence of our work around the congresses, around the events, which is social media and lead generation. So as I said, thought leadership, it's an approach. It's not something that you can do here or there. I believe that at any time frame for the company, engaging with thought leadership, presenting the right content can make a big impact, if it's around the event or generally. So here we had the case study of Aculine. Aculine, a digital health medical device company, going to JP Morgan, and they wanted to spark interest quite quickly around the company. We worked with them, started working with them 2 months ahead of the event. And our goal was immediately to start creating buzz on social media and to create a build-up around the company so people will feel that there is the urgency, that the company is super interesting. So first of all, we created the event to announce on LinkedIn that the company is going there. And once you create a LinkedIn event, you can invite people to join the event. And not only you, all your team in the company can do it. And then it really amplifies and create a buzz, because when you have 100 attendees. It looks very impressive. So this is the first step that we did. And then we started to present the company. What is the market that it's targeting? What is the product? What is the clinical efficacy? Why it's a good fit for the market? What is unique about it? Each coming in a separate post with an impressive format. It created an impact. But not only we created this post, we also used a LinkedIn promotion campaign, a paid campaign, to target investors who are attending JPM, to close the loop. Not that we in Israel or wherever will see it, but that it will reach the right eyes. So that was the content part. In parallel to the content part, it's important to run a digital activity, a digital campaign to generate meetings ahead of the show. Actually, in Apollo, you can create a sequence of actions that you want to do ahead of the campaign in order to come prepared for the show. It's like a backwards countdown. For example, you want to do 3 emails, 4 LinkedIn messages. Sometimes we also have an SDR calling, and everything you plan in Apollo, and then you execute this campaign to come ready to the show. Just an explanation, I have explained how we do prospecting generally for digital campaigns. For outreach campaigns, for events, it's even a better fit, because many times when we build the audience, we can use the audience that is provided by the event, either through a website or different lists that you can purchase, I mean, from the event, not the third party. And you can really get a very, very good targeting. And targeting is key for success in events. Then we take the list that we built. We enrich the contacts in Apollo. We get all the information, market size, even revenues of the company, number of employees, contacts, profiles. We get all the information. And then we build the campaigns with the right message. So it will look personal, not AI-based. And it will appeal for your target audience. It will resonate with them, so they will want to meet you. And we have done quite a few event campaigns. Here are a few examples. This is, for example, an investor campaign around HealthIL Europe for a medical device company. We have seen 17 people interested, so 16 came from email, 8 came from LinkedIn. Many times we see also the other way around, but LinkedIn is more prominent. Another email campaign around JP Morgan. So many people are going to JP Morgan. Again, email campaign, 10 prospects said they're interested to meet with the company. And here is just one example of such an email. Same as on the email, we are running in parallel also a LinkedIn campaign. LinkedIn campaign is also a very good way to generate prospects, especially if you do it from the CEO or C-level profile. And here I just wanted to show the result of our recent campaign for Medica that we did with Talor Zaks from eHealth Ventures. And this is what he wrote. He wanted to go to Medica for a number of purposes, for eHealth Ventures and for their portfolio companies. They wanted to meet with distributors, investors, leading MedTech consultancies. And he felt that doing a campaign was actually turning the chaos into strategic value for their portfolio. Because when you go to a trade show that has 40,000 attendees, like in Medica, it's impossible to go there unprepared. And even if the show is smaller, it's always recommended to come prepared with the right content, with the right meetings. It puts you on a totally different level. And I invite you, those who plan to go to Arab Health, also to take this opportunity and to prepare for Arab Health. So this was or any trade show that you are going. So this was our last part. And before we say goodbye, I see that also our time is running out. Let me see what are the questions that we have got. How do you create LinkedIn campaign that targets specific investors? That's the question, how specific it is. The campaign, you can define investors by criteria, like if they're interested in MedTech, if they're interested in biotech, what is the size of the company? If you have different specifications or lists, it can help. The idea is to go mass, like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 investors, and that match your criteria. And out of that, you create interested prospects with whom you continue. Okay, one question, how to do thought leadership without it looking like you are selling yourself all the time? That will not work, especially the frequency is too high. I absolutely agree. So thought leadership and selling yourself are two totally different things. When you do thought leadership, you don't sell yourself, you sell content. And this is the essence of thought leadership. You don't sell, you present data, you present valuable insights that the company wants. As I have shown you examples that you see the market size, advice on the process, and you provide value. You don't sell yourself, you provide value. This is the essence of thought leadership. How do you deal with spam in the email campaign? The person can actually unsubscribe. First of all, there is an option to unsubscribe. And secondly, and this is most important, when we write the messages for the email campaign, this is not AI generated. The basis is always human. I personally, when I write the campaigns, I make sure that the campaigns look personal and it doesn't look like an automated template campaign. And that's how you make the difference. Are you actively managing the company's LinkedIn pages and posts on their behalf? Yes. So we actually we actually manage it for the company. We are posting for them, creating all the campaigns. We also run all the activities from their account on the behalf of the company. We use third-party tools. For instance, I don't have a password and the username for the CEO account, but we connect with them through third-party tools, as I said, through Apollo, through Dripify, and other tools that we use, and that's how we manage the profiles. So I believe this is all. I think we were even 10 minutes past time, and we still have a lot of people online. So these are my details. You are welcome to contact me directly. I will, of course, share with you the recording. And my recommendation to you, the essence of what we have seen, is to keep things simple. Do simple, faster processes. Focus on the content, on the value that you provide. Make sure that the loop is closed, that you target the right audience. And when it all works together, you will see results quite quickly. So I want to thank everyone for joining. I think that the fact that you joined and you are interested and you are ready to embrace marketing innovation, it tells a lot. I'm happy to see that we have people here from all around the world, which is very impressive. And I wish you best of luck in 2026. And let's connect again and share how good the year was. So good luck, everyone. And thank you for joining. I'm just looking if there. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. It was great. And have a good year.